The witness attitude is also faith. It is faith in oneself. You believe that you are not what you experience, and you look at everything as from a distance. There is no effort in witnessing. You understand that you are the witness only, and the understanding acts. You need nothing more. Just remember that you are the witness only. If, in the state of witnessing, you ask yourself, "Who am I?" the answer comes at once, though it is wordless and silent. Cease to be the object and become the subject of all that happens. Once having turned within, you will find yourself beyond the object. When you have found yourself, you will find that you are also beyond the subject, that both the subject and the object exist in you, but you are neither. As long as you deal in terms, real, unreal, awareness is the only reality that can be. But the Supreme is beyond all distinctions, and to it the term real does not apply. For in it all is real, and therefore need not be labeled as such. It is the very source of reality. It imparts reality to whatever it touches. It just cannot be understood through words. Even a direct experience, however sublime, merely bears testimony, nothing more. The universal mind, Chidakash, makes and unmakes everything. The Supreme, Paramakash, imparts reality to whatever comes into being. To say that it is the universal love may be the nearest we can come to it in words. Just like love, it makes everything real, beautiful, desirable. Why desirable? Why not? Where from come all the powerful attractions that make all created things respond to each other, that bring people together, if not from the Supreme? Shun not desire. See only that it flows into the right channels. Without desire, you are dead. But with low desires, you are a ghost. What is the experience which comes nearest to the Supreme? Immense peace and boundless love. Realize that whatever there is true, noble, and beautiful in the universe, it all comes from you, that you yourself are at the source of it. The gods and goddesses that supervise the world may be most wonderful and glorious beings, yet they are like the gorgeously dressed servants who proclaim the power and the riches of their master. How does one reach the supreme state? By renouncing all lesser desires. As long as you are pleased with the lesser, you cannot have the highest. Whatever pleases you keeps you back, until you realize the unsatisfactoriness of everything, its transiency and limitation, and collect your energies in one great longing. Even the first step is not made. On the other hand, the integrity of the desire for the Supreme is by itself a call from the Supreme. Nothing, physical or mental, can give you freedom. You are free once you understand that your bondage is of your own making, and you cease forging the chains that bind you. Krishnamurti says that a guru is not needed. Somebody must tell you about the Supreme Reality and the way that leads to it. Krishnamurti is doing nothing else. To find a living guru is a rare opportunity and a great responsibility. One should not treat these matters lightly. You people are out to buy yourself heaven, and you imagine that the guru will supply it for a price. You seek to strike a bargain by offering little but asking much. You cheat nobody except yourselves. Just sitting near you, can it be considered spiritual practice? Of course. The river of life is flowing. Some of its water is here, but so much of it has already reached its goal. You know only the present. I see much further into the past and future, into what you are and what you can be. I cannot but see you as myself. It is in the very nature of love to see no difference. How can I come to see myself as you see me? It is enough if you do not imagine yourself to be the body. It is the I am the body idea that is so calamitous. It blinds you completely to your real nature. Even for a moment, do not think that you are the body. Give yourself no name, no shape. In the darkness and the silence, reality is found. It is enough to know that there is suffering, that the world suffers. By themselves, neither pleasure nor pain enlighten. Only understanding does. Once you have grasped the truth that the world is full of suffering, that to be born is a calamity, you will find the urge and the energy to go beyond it. Pleasure puts you to sleep, and pain wakes you up. If you do not want to suffer, don't go to sleep. You cannot know yourself through bliss alone, for bliss is your very nature. You must face the opposite, what you are not, to find enlightenment. Does not the knower know itself? The mind is discontinuous. Again and again it blanks out, like in sleep or swoon or distraction. There must be something continuous to register discontinuity. Memory is always partial, unreliable, and evanescent. It does not explain the strong sense of identity pervading consciousness, the sense I am. Find out what is at the root of it. While looking with the mind, you cannot go beyond it. To go beyond, you must look away from the mind and its contents. In what direction am I to look? All directions are within the mind. I am not asking you to look in any particular direction. Just look away from all that happens in your mind and bring it to the feeling, I am. The I am is not a direction. It is the negation of all direction. Ultimately, even the I am will have to go, for you need not keep on asserting what is obvious. Bringing the mind to the feeling I am merely helps in turning the mind away from everything else. Where does it all lead me? When the mind is kept away from its preoccupations, it becomes quiet. If you do not disturb this quiet and stay in it, you find that it is permeated with a light and a love you have never known. And yet, you recognize it at once as your own nature. Once you have passed through this experience, you will never be the same man again. The unruly mind may break its peace and obliterate its vision, but it is bound to return, provided the effort is sustained, until the day when all bonds are broken, delusions and attachments end, and life becomes supremely concentrated in the present. What difference does it make? The mind is no more. There is only love in action. How shall I recognize this state when I reach it? There will be no fear. Surrounded by a world full of mysteries and dangers, how can I remain unafraid? Your own little body, too, is full of mysteries and dangers. Yet you are not afraid of it, for you take it as your own. What you do not know is that the entire universe is your body, and you need not be afraid of it. You may say you have two bodies, the personal and the universal. The personal comes and goes. The universal is always with you. Entire creation is your universal body. You are so blinded by what is personal that you do not see the universal. This blindness will not end by itself. It must be undone, skillfully and deliberately. When all illusions are understood and abandoned, you reach the error-free and perfect state in which all distinctions between the personal and the universal are no more. Knowing yourself as the dweller in both the bodies, you will disown nothing. The entire universe will be your concern. Every living thing you will love and help most tenderly and wisely. There will be no clash of interests between you and others. All exploitation will cease absolutely. Your every action will be beneficial. Every movement will be a blessing. It is all very tempting, but how am I to proceed to realize my universal being? You have two ways. You can give your heart and mind to self-discovery, or you accept my words on trust and act accordingly. In other words, either you become totally self-concerned or totally unself-concerned. It is the word totally that is important. You must be extreme to reach the supreme. Realize yourself as the ocean of consciousness in which all happens. This is not difficult. A little of attentiveness, of close observation of oneself, and you will see that no event is outside your consciousness. Where is the need of changing anything? The mind is changing anyhow all the time. Look at your mind dispassionately. That is enough to calm it. When it is quiet, you can go beyond it. Do not keep it busy all the time. Stop it and just be. If you give it rest, it will settle down and recover its purity and strength. Constant thinking makes it decay. If my true being is always with me, how is it that I am ignorant of it? Because it is very subtle, and your mind is gross, full of gross thoughts and feelings. Calm and clarify your mind, and you will know yourself as you are. Do I need the mind to know myself? You are beyond the mind, but you know with your mind. It is obvious that the extent, depth, and character of knowledge depend on what instrument you use. Improve your instrument and your knowledge will improve. To know perfectly, I need a perfect mind. A quiet mind is all you need. All else will happen rightly once your mind is quiet. Do understand that you are destined for enlightenment. Cooperate with your destiny. Don't go against it, and don't thwart it. Allow it to fulfill itself. All you have to do is to give attention to the obstacles created by the foolish mind. What you take to be the I and the I am is not you. To know that you are is natural. To know what you are is the result of much investigation. You will have to ignore the entire field of consciousness and go beyond it. For this, you must find the right teacher and create the conditions needed for discovery. Generally speaking, there are two ways: external and internal. Either you live with somebody who knows the truth and submit yourself entirely to his guiding and molding influence, or you seek the inner guide and follow the inner light wherever it takes you. In both cases, your personal desires and fears must be disregarded. You learn either by proximity or by investigation, the passive or the active way. You either let yourself be carried by the river of life and love represented by your guru, or you make your own efforts, guided by your inner star. In both cases, you must move on. You must be earnest. Rare are the people who are lucky to find somebody worthy of trust and love. Most of them must take the hard way, the way of intelligence and understanding, of discrimination and detachment. This is the way open to all. Once you say, "I want to find truth," all your life will be deeply affected by it. All your mental and physical habits, feelings and emotions, desires and fears, plans and decisions will undergo a most radical transformation. Do I need experience? You already have all the experience you need. Otherwise, you would not have come here. You need not gather any more. Rather, you must go beyond experience. Whatever effort you make, whatever method, sadhana, you follow, will merely generate more experience, but will not take you beyond. Nor will reading books help you. They will enrich your mind, but the person you are will remain intact. If you expect any benefits from your search, material, mental, or spiritual, you have missed the point. Truth gives no advantage. It gives you no higher status, no power over others. All you get is truth and the freedom from the false. Surely truth gives you the power to help others. This is mere imagination, however noble. In truth, you do not help others because there are no others. You divide people into noble and ignoble, and you ask the noble to help the ignoble. You separate, you evaluate, you judge and condemn. In the name of truth, you destroy it. Your very desire to formulate truth denies it, because it cannot be contained in words. Truth can be expressed only by the denial of the false in action. For this, you must see the false as false and reject it. Renunciation of the false is liberating and energizing. It lays open the road to perfection. The false is limited in time and space, and is produced by circumstances. Whatever is conceived by the mind must be false, for it is bound to be relative and limited. The real is inconceivable and cannot be harnessed to a purpose. It must be wanted for its own sake. Self-interest and self-concern are the focal points of the false. Your daily life vibrates between desire and fear. Watch it intently, and you will see how the mind assumes innumerable names and shapes, like a river foaming between boulders. Trace every action to its selfish motive, and look at the motive intently till it dissolves. Discard every self-seeking motive as soon as it is seen, and you need not search for truth. Truth will find you. One must survive. You can't help surviving. The real you is timeless and beyond birth and death. And the body will survive as long as it is needed. It is not important that it should live long. A full life is better than a long life. If you seek reality, you must set yourself free of all backgrounds, of all cultures, of all patterns of thinking and feeling. Even the idea of being man or woman, or even human, should be discarded. The ocean of life contains all, not only humans. So, first of all, abandon all self-identification. Stop thinking of yourself as such and such, so and so, this or that. Abandon all self-concern. Worry not about your welfare, material or spiritual. Abandon every desire, gross or subtle. Stop thinking of achievement of any kind. You are complete here and now. You need absolutely nothing. It does not mean that you must be brainless and foolhardy, improvident or indifferent. Only the basic anxiety for oneself must go.